before opening it up, let me first turn to the discussant, who's, and forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name, is Ms. Nicole Bidegain, I think, Development Alternatives with Women for a New Era.
In this interesting event, and thank the panelists for your inputs. For feminist and women's organizations, United Nations has been a critical space for advancing and recognizing women's rights, but especially for advancing progressive policy frameworks towards the realization of women's rights. However, many international agreed development commitments, including those addressing systemic issues in areas such as trade, investment, technology, and finance, have not been fully implemented due to unequal power relations between different, for instance, multilateral organization of the global governance, between transnational corporations and states, and between states from the north and the south. So for us today, more than ever, we need to address this accountability gap and this governance deficit. In terms of governance, we can allow the UN shift from the one country, one vote type of governance to $1, one vote. Even worse, since the dollar don't came from official resources, but rather from the corporate sector. So we really call for strength the global partnership, a partnership that is driven by governments. And as we discussed this morning, this so-called transformative shift steeped in a neoliberal macroeconomic policy frame could have severe implications for the organization, not just only in terms of diminishing the role of states, but also in terms of imposing agendas that can strengthen development silos and also the instrumentalization of women's rights. So rather than new partnerships, we should focus on a new accountability framework. And in this sense, I would like to share with you two proposals. First, government should complement the UN guiding principles on business and human rights and develop a binding multilateral instrument for transnational corporations that prevent and protect people against human rights abuses perpetrated by private sector, and where people and communities affected have a right to effective remedy. Secondly, to establish an open, transparent, and participatory intergovernmental space for oversight, monitoring, and review any partnership developed in the UN on sustainable development. And it should include a reporting mechanism that must be ex ante and not just ex post, should set a criteria for eligibility as well as dismissal for any partnership relationship, should be supported by public disclosure and conflict of interest policies, and these requirements should also apply for extra budgetary resources. So finally, as some of you have said, the high-level political forum could become a body that can take on this mandate. Thank you very much.